Hi, everybody. Welcome to Am I the Asshole podcast. I'm Danny Vega, joined by my lovely co-host, Sarah Levine. Sarah, how are you today?
Danny, actually, you know what I gotta say? Like, it's wild to watch a lot of people I know going through this, like, election roller coaster up and down, because I feel like you with the coronavirus, because I did all my worrying in advance. I've already worried about every single potential outcome. Like, I've literally kept myself awake until 5 a.m. I've done it already. Like, I've trained. This is my Super Bowl, and I am calm, and I'm in the zone.
You're ready for it.
Yeah.
Huh? Well, listeners, so you know we're recording this on Wednesday, so we don't know. So you know, so you know, that's cool for you.
From the future.
You know. You're in the future. I hope it's good over there, and I hope you guys are happy with the election results, or
Truly.
maybe we're in total anarchy.
Oh, God.
Who knows? Maybe this is like the last day we'll have.
I gotta say, like, every time I'm like, should I have that Oreo? I'm like, you know what? This could be my last Oreo. Like, who knows what's gonna happen? I'm just going like full balls to the wall, like YOLO status.
Nice. That's good. I am not in that way. I mean, I would say I'm like still about 30% in the kind of breakup blues, but I am climbing out slowly but surely, doing a lot of focus on reflection and self-growth, and
I love that journey for you.
yeah, I am doing a lot of journaling, which has been really cool. I'm thinking a lot about like the shit I think about. It's kind of circular. Well, I'm just like I like look at all my emotions and stuff, and like I am in therapy, but I sort of feel like I get a lot more, and like I have a lot more self-awareness by journaling. I journal. I do little video diaries. It's extremely corny.
A
But
video
I do
diary?
it. Yeah, well, it's like if I'm too lazy to write stuff down,
Yeah.
I just talk to my camera for 10 minutes.
Oh, wow,
And then
good
I
for you.
watch it the next day, and I'm like, oh, okay,
Oh my God.
that's where I'm at.
I feel like you're so brave. I cannot stand to watch myself, listen to myself. None of it.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like myself, but and I'm trying to work on that, by the way, people. I'm trying to develop self-love. If anyone has a self-love, is there a way you can have self-love? I don't know. I'm looking for a good book about this.
I have no recs.
Yeah, you know, I think it's important. I think a lot of my negativity, my Karen traits, I know the listeners hate how I'm a Karen. Ugh, I got to ITA myself.
Again? Oh my God. It's like every week.
Again. Well, I basically order groceries off Seamless because I get
Seamless
a
or like
credit.
Instacart?
Seamless. I get a credit off my work for $20. So I like to order my, now they have a new, and by the way, big fan of cashew milk. They have cashew milk now. I don't know if you guys know about
They make
cashew
good.
milk.
Cashew milk is like good in ice cream, but then it's like super fattening, but it tastes great.
It only has 25 calories per cup, so I love it.
Oh?
It's super light. It's great. So anyway, I go to order cashew milk, and I don't realize how I'm ordering it. Apparently, it's a brand. Because here's the problem. I have to order from only one grocery because none of the bodegas or anything's around me have like robust lists of their products.
I can't believe you can. I'm sorry. I'm not over the fact that you can take Seamless to a bodega.
Yeah, there's some bodegas that use Seamless. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Okay. Keep going.
Yeah, well, because they have delis, right? So you can order a sandwich.
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever.
I guess that's true.
So anyway, I don't realize that this milk I'm ordering is like not the right kind of milk. It has like a brand name, but I just see on my screen something different, and then like it's just the user experience is just horrible. But anyway, and I caught myself barking at the employee a little bit because she goes, "Well, I found a different cashew milk, but it was $8." And I was like, why did you find the most expensive possible one? And so I was just getting huffy.
Okay, I don't think she like did it on purpose.
Of course she didn't. And I didn't catch it. I had a nightmare that night about doing something to customer service. And I was like, that was because I was a dick at the grocery store. That wasn't a pleasant interaction for that woman. I could have been much sweeter. I ended up admitting I was wrong. I was like, I was wrong. I made a mistake. I said that, but I didn't really say sorry. So I fucked it up. I was just frustrated because
You botched it.
I botched it. I'm
as
an
you like to
asshole.
say, you bombed.
I bombed.
I like that phrase. It's really funny.
Yeah. Well, that's from stand up. You know, if you don't do well at stand up, you say bomb. Yeah.
I know. That's why I think it's funny when you apply it to like non-stand up
Well,
situations.
it does apply in a sense, right? Because you're always trying to have, pleasant interactions with people, and you may not be trying to make them, double over with laughs like with stand up, but you're trying to, make a good impression and add to their day. I mean, I am. I want to have made her day better, but I made her day worse, and so I'm a piece of shit, and I'm a Karen, and that's why I'm journaling and I'm in therapy. People, I'm working on it. All right. Guys,
Yes.
Please rate, review, and subscribe. We'd love for you to join us on Patreon. We now do weekly bonus episodes. It only takes a few seconds to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, by the way. Super quick. Really helps the pod. Helps us get new listeners, new people. The Patreon's great. We do a regular call-in show. We're having a lot of fun. We talk to our patrons now. You get to talk to me and Sarah directly, and well, I mean, you could do that anyway, but
Yeah.
I'm not a huge stickler about it, but
Or you can like send us notes. We'll read them on the pod.
yeah.
If you want.
We turn
stuff
up the
like that.
interactivity a little bit, but I'm an open book, people, and I love all the listeners who send me stuff and comments. By the way, keep that up. Send it to my DMs. Follow me on Twitter at Holy Duck. All right, guys, we're gonna play a little round of Guess the Verdict, and I am super excited because I think this is the funniest title of one that I've found.
Oh. my God, hit
AITA
me.
personal reference letter. That's the whole title.
Wait, that's
the
it?
whole title. AITA personal reference letter.
I mean, I'm going to go YTA based on that title alone.
So the story is that
What the fuck?
I know. This
is
but hey,
cheating.
I found it. It's a real submish. Guy wrote a reference letter
Rude.
for his godson to go to college. But it was actually a ploy. The reference letter was used for his friend, the godson's friend. And the reference letter was heavily botched. The details didn't match up. The school calls OP, and he's like, what? No, I don't even know this name. Like, I don't know who this is. The parents get all butthurt, and they call OP, and they're like, OP, you need to call the committee because our son lost his scholarship or whatever. He lost his chance to get into the school. And he's like, no,
the hell?
I'm not going to do that. Girl with Reddit, _, writes, NTA, he ruined his own future. Oh, because that's what the parents said. They're like, oh, you ruined his future. You ruined his future.
Yeah, what? First of all, this is fake. Like, there's no way that someone's acceptance was riding on one recommendation letter.
No, Sarah, it wasn't that. It was that they called the person who wrote the recommendation letter, and they were like,
Oh, it's because they figured out they lied.
yes, because it was botched because they didn't change any
Got
of the
it.
details because
Yeah,
they wrote
yeah,
it
yeah.
about his grandson, and it was godson, and it was the godson's friend. So none of the actual details lined up. So it was like an incoherent
I see
reference
now.
letter. He got
Okay.
busted for like cheating.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty bad. Yeah, definitely NTA, and
Yes.
they are. Okay. AITA for telling my daughter that her holiday parties... Sorry. AITA for telling my daughter that her holiday plans are selfish.
Interesting. What would she do that's so selfish? I don't know, but I guess I kind of feel like I'm gonna go NTA. Yeah.
NTA?
Damn.
Wrong.
Rats.
So you're like, what could
What
they
could
do
they
that's
do?
selfish? And the answer
Yeah. What
Huh?
could they do?
is pretty much
Oh God.
nothing. So, 24-year-old daughter and her new husband have a lake house. Mom and dad invite them over for Christmas Eve, family tradition. Daughter says, "No thanks. Me and the hubby are going to go up to the lake house." And this is what the mom actually writes in Reddit. She says, "Even though the lake will be frozen in the winter, they plan on getting there by snowmobile. This is just her way of making sure they won't have an excuse to entertain guests. I told her that they can't just shut themselves out from the world during the holidays." And the mom hasn't seen her daughter since spring, predictably.
What the heck?
Yeah. So the top comment was an obvious YTA. They are adults and can do whatever they want. Have you stopped to consider why they would rather be in a cabin in the middle of nowhere instead of at your Christmas Eve dinner?
Yeah. Fair enough.
Big fat YTA.
AITA. If I left a half-finished painting job.
Gonna go with
NTA
NTA.
is correct. Basically,
Woo.
OP was kind of sold the gig incorrectly. They were told it would only take 2 days of work and one coat turns out that there was this whole thing with the wall plugs. I don't really know anything about painting, so I was very confused. But it was a whole. Let me tell you, people, don't take painting the wall plugs as an easy thing, because it was going to be a whole thing. The friend also was like, "Oh, I'll help you," and then only helped for 20 minutes. OP spent like $200 on the painting gear. Like, it was, he basically got low key scammed. He like did it, but it was like going to take legitimately like 3 times as much time as the guy painted the picture.
What the F?
Yeah, so
that's so dumb.
Yeah, and it was like, it's the kind of thing where like OP was clearly trying to do a good job, and so when he was told the right way to do a good job, it was like not going to be possible in that time frame. So he would have had to like slap it together, and then he had a vacation, so he had to go. Top comment. Yep.
Yeah. I was going to say, I kind of figured when you read that headline that it was like a situation in which OP was like getting screwed over.
Yeah. NTA, he gave you directions to remove the plugs and just paint over them. He didn't follow up on his promise. So
there we go.
All right, Sarah, you have 1 point.
Yes. AITA for actually rehoming our dog.
Actually rehoming?
Yes.
What the hell? Why would they be the asshole? AITA for actually rehoming our dog. So maybe they got rid of the dog. I'm going to say YTA.
You would have thought that, but you would be wrong.
God.
So the family got a German Shepherd, and the dad spoils the dog, doesn't discipline the dog. You know how it goes. Feeds the dog human food, dog gets sick all the time, all just bad stuff. The mom says if the dad doesn't change his ways by the end of the month, she's rehoming it. Dad, predictably, did nothing, and OP found a new family to take care of the dog. So the top comment from NomNom83 was taken. NTA, your mom has an equal say in keeping the dog and gave you permission to rehome it. I feel bad for your dad and think there could have been an interim attempt to get a trainer for the dog or send it to a school, but I have to side with what's best for the dog.
Because the dad wasn't taking proper care of the dog?
Yes.
All right. Well, Sarah wins, guess the verdict. There's no question there. People,
Woo.
1 points to 0. We got one heck of a juicy app for you today. One more little reminder, Ito, please rate, review, subscribe. Only takes a few seconds. We got Patreon, call-in show, a lot of fun, bonus apps every single week. And I tell all my secrets on the Patreon, but they're not that juicy anymore because now I'm just in this boring, like, I'm reflecting on myself and learning about who I really am stage. There's no drama, but there will be drama, people. There will be.
I think next week you're going to be back. I don't know. We're going to have some new drama. You're going to uncover something interesting about yourself and like, I don't know. I think we'll have something
Against
interesting.
the advice of literally everyone, I do have 2 dates this week.
Oh my God,
well, look,
seriously?
one's a second date and what's a first date. I just want an excuse to eat sushi for the latter one. And Sarah, I'm being transparent with the ladies. I just, I was told, I was advised by people that it's okay to get, F buddies, that's okay. And I'm going to tell them that I'm not looking for anything serious. I'm not going to mislead. I'm not going to deceive. I'm not going to lie. Is that legal?
I mean, why go on a date
Because because I'm pathetic and my self-esteem is low and I would like to have relations with a lady.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and I'm in great shape. I've been in great shape because running is my only way of coping. I'm in the best shape of my entire life. Let me have it.
Whatever.
I'm not gonna fall in love with them. That was a rebound thing.
I don't know.
Is
about
that your fear? Why are you pushing back on me?
Yeah, because you like default exist in like relationships. So yeah, I do think that when you're like going out on dates with someone and hooking up with them, you might get confused and default into a relationship again.
Boy.
I wish we had Chemda on here. Like, I feel like she would back me up on this.
Look, all right. Look, I'm getting shit from a lot of girlfriends about this, that I shouldn't be doing this. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've got this other friend, Amy, in my ear, and she's on my ass saying that it's not right, and that that you have to lay. She was the one who's like, you got to lay down the law. She said I'm already being deceiving by taking them out on a date that implies. Okay,
that's my opinion too. But I'm also like a very black or white person to the point that my therapist thinks it's like bad. But like, and I guess it's hard because you don't drink and no one's going to bars in these circumstances. But like, if I'm just hooking up with you, like, I don't really want to like be also emotionally vulnerable.
Well, then how do you hook up? How do you hook up with someone for the first time? What do you just say? We want to hook up?
Meet at a bar and like be drunk. So yes, I realize that's not in play for you.
That's not a possible.
But I do feel like if you're doing datey stuff, I just wouldn't. I don't like that type of like like, I just feel like, I don't know, the actions and the words like have to match up.
Well, look.
I mean, actually, this kind of did happen with like my future stalker.
Oh boy.
Because I made sure to keep it consistent, and I was like not saying anything. Like, I don't know. I would just like not say what they like were clearly wanting to hear, and drew like very clear boundaries and made sure that that was also backed up in like what I was doing.
Right.
So you just have to make sure to keep it consistent.
Yeah, I mean, look, I one of these is a second date, one is a first date. I'm gonna feel it out, but I'm not. I'm lying. I was about to say I'm not pursuing it, but I'm still on the apps. But I changed all my app profile to say not looking for anything serious. So is that clear enough?
Sure.
This is such a nightmare. I should become a priest. Fuck this.
Or just be like alone.
But
for a short time.
I know, but I just want to hook up. I want to be alone. That's just hooking up. I'm in good shape right now. Let me have it.
I mean, I'm obviously not like physically stopping you or verbally doing that either, because clearly look at where we're at right now.
There's nothing to do, Sarah. I'm
just giving you advice, and you can't be mad at me that it's not what you want to hear. Boom.
It's fair. No, I'm trying to cut it down. Maybe I'll delete the apps. I've been thinking about it. But anyway, guys, you get it. Well, whatever. Maybe it is more juicy. It's not that juicy. Look, our second story of the day. AITA for asking my husband not to bring his friend around. But first, AITA for telling my daughter she'd thank me later about her hair. By you were Kiki. My daughter, 13, has dark, thick, and shiny waist-length hair. So her hair goes down to her waist. It enhances her look by a factor of 10. Completely ridiculous statement.
Ooh.
A factor of 10, that's ridiculous. So she's a 1 and then her hair makes her a 10. It makes no sense. Anyway.
Or she's a 10 and now she's 100?
Yeah, well, that's crazy. And all the moms I know are always asking me how I get her hair like that. I honestly really can't advise them because it's all natural. Recently, my daughter has been wanting to be shoulder-length hair or even a pixie cut. She says long hair is annoying, and the first thing everybody talks about is her hair, and that she's tired of girls and boys feeling up her hair. However, she may not remember this, but there was a time a couple years ago when me and the stylist decided to go shorter for her. When we got home, my husband and son were all asking why I did that and that it was beautiful before and not so much now. I personally also thought it was also not as good as a look as it was before. Yesterday, I scheduled an appointment with her stylist because she was getting split ends and needed a trim. I told her we were going, and she asked if we could do neck length this time. She said she really thinks she can style it the way she loves most if it's neck length. I told her she was young and might not be thinking about the possible outcomes of that decision and that her hair looks the best the way it is.
Oh, God.
She pouted on the way to the stylist, and the entire time she tried to cajole the stylist into going shorter when I had already told the stylist to just do the usual trim. I told her on the way home that she'd thank me for it later when she's older and looks back at pictures and realizes why everybody's obsessed over her beautiful hair and how you'd kill to have hair like hers.
Ugh.
AITA. My husband says I did the right thing and kids don't really have that level of optical introspection yet. That's why parents go with them to the salon.
Oh my God. Okay. This is like pretty creepy, to be honest. And I will also say that like my mom both gave and allowed me to get a number of bad haircuts.
Yeah.
I'm talking short, pixie cut, bangs. I spent a year growing out my bangs, and then the next year at the salon,
right,
my sister was like, you should get bangs again. And I was like, you're right. And I got them again.
Wow.
So yikes. This is so creepy and weird.
It is creepy.
Like the factor, it's one thing, like, I don't know, if the mom was like, I'm a little reluctant. I think it's not going to look good. I think she's going to be upset, blah, blah, blah. But all these sidebar comments like factor of 10.
She's trying to sell us on
kill to have hair like hers.
Yeah. She's really trying to sell this. Well, she's trying to sell that she's right. And she is right. She probably is right.
Right. She probably is right. But the way that she's saying it is strange and like overly preoccupied.
Right. Well, she's missing the mark, right? She's right about the fact that the hair looks better. She probably is, right? This girl's 13. She doesn't.
Or like there's got to be a middle ground. Like waist length hair is annoying.
Yeah,
my hair's never even
Sarah,
been that long.
You're missing my point here. My point is that she's right. That her daughter does look better with the long hair. Of course she's right. She knows.
No, what I'm saying is that there's probably like a middle ground, because when your hair is like that long, it's just extremely long and distracting, and like not, it could be also, it could look healthier if it's like a little bit shorter, but not a pixie cut.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, look, if mom is going this hard on it, I buy it. She's right. The girl looks great with long hair. Personally, I did date a girl with hair down to her waist. I love it. I think it's such a great look. I've learned, however, the rebound was on my ass. I don't get to tell women how to look. I think it's wrong to use others as a little kind of proxy for your success or projecting your image, which is exactly what mother is doing. So what I'm trying to say is that she's right, probably, that the hair is the ideal look because she's an adult and has the taste to discern something like that, but that she is completely wrong in dictating a 13-year-old girl's behavior. Completely wrong. That is not nice about her hair. Of course, she can dictate her behavior about school, things of other things, but
yeah, I would think 13 is like a little bit old to like be saying what types of haircuts you can and can't get. If this is a reasonable haircut.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think there's probably a few
like
lines.
I'm in 8th grade. It's not like I was like, I want to shave my head. My mom would be like, no.
Yeah.
But if I was like, hey, I want my hair to be a little shorter.
Honestly, I think I would, I guess I would like to talk to a parent, but my intuition says that I would, if my kid wanted to do an outrageous haircut, like, you know, if they're a girl and they want to get a buzz cut, I would say, like, listen, have you thought about how this will affect, you know, the other kids at school are going to make fun of you. You're going to incur a large social penalty for a risk like this, and really go through the options, even if they were 8 or even if whatever, you know, if they're old enough to comprehend that there is a future and that this will cause shit in your life. But no, I don't think the role of the parent in this case is to dictate that. You know, I guess there is an age where it's sort of like you want to override their understanding and their conception of the future, you know, obviously if they're 5 years old, for instance. But, you know, I think it's kind of better to err on the side of autonomy because I honestly think this is how people learn.
Also, this is going to be a really good way to make this girl grow up hating her hair.
That I feel by dictating, you mean?
By not letting her do what she wants.
Yeah, no, I think it's utterly toxic. I mean, I think the way the mother views this as a sort of, she views it as kind of a token of her success. And actually, I think this comment kind of puts it better than I'm putting it. Rochelle H. writes, YTA, she's 13. Why are you even talking about enhancing her looks? She's a human being, not your doll. And that's,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's what's kind of so alarming about this is that there's really no regard given to her feelings. So the mom is just kind of myopically like, well, it looks best. Okay, yeah, no, it looks best, but that's not what she wants to do, and she's a human.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like she's kind of close to doing the right thing because she says, I told her she was still so young and might not be thinking about the possible outcomes of that decision. And that's where I'm like, yeah, I'm on board. Yeah, tell her the outcomes. Tell her kind of how this plays out. Tell her what you think. Give her your best analysis. Ask her to sleep on it. I think all those are fair. But to then go say, well, her hair looks best the way it is, so she's doing what mommy wants her to do. No, that is, honestly, I'm ready to drop the A word. I find that to be a little bit abusive. I don't like it.
It could be definitely super controlling, especially since even the worst case scenario to me is not really warranting like this level of concern. Because I would think the worst case scenario is like, oh, what? Everyone's not constantly petting your head and constantly giving you compliments. Like, okay.
Right.
So be it.
And actually,
like, she's not going to get ostracized socially for having neck length hair.
Right.
Like, I think it's to your point. Like this, like the mom is sort of, I don't know, kind of like living out something vicariously through the daughter.
100%, Sarah. And also part of the reason she wants to get rid of the hair is because she's sick of talking about it. She says long hair is annoying, and the first thing everybody talks about is her hair. She's sick of it, and there's no consideration from the mother. The mother is so dead set on, oh, it's the best hair, it's the best hair, it's the best hair. She doesn't even seem to incorporate the fact that daughter has a very real and valid concern that she's sick of her interactions being dictated by this fucking hair.
Yep.
This is good. I'm happy to be exposed to this because I am controlling and I own it, people. I've said controlling things. I'm learning. I'm accepting. I have even swiped right on some people with blue, purple, pink hair on the old Tinder or whatever the fuck.
Oh, God.
Whisper M. I know I can't win with Sarah right now, but that's my problem, people. Whisper M. YTA. YT biggest A. She's 13 and can make her own decision about how she wants her hair. It's effing hair, and you're so worried that people will think her beauty is different because of what length it is.
Bless you.
Because of what length it is. Yeah, I mean, I think Whisper M is pretty much on our same page here.
Yeah.
Brianna.
It's again, what is just really getting me is just, again, this is a pretty small ask from the daughter. She's not asking to do anything that's so outside the realm of what's considered like conventionally attractive or normal or whatever. And
mother's,
I just don't like that the mom is having such an issue with it, obviously.
Mother's sole reasoning is just that this is the ideal. This is her ideal look. You know, which is like, well, hair is more than that. As you said, long hair requires a lot of work. And then, and like I said before, the interaction.
Yeah, it's like annoying.
It's annoying. Brianna M writes, I went through this when I was little. I had long, beautiful hair. My mom refused to get it cut, even after all the reasons that I shouldn't have to list. So I got tired of it. I cut it off myself. It looked awful. It was uneven and a mess, but I loved that my hair was short. I won't be so surprised if the daughter does something like that. YTA. Sydney L.
I do feel like we jump into parenting like hypotheticals a little bit too much, but this to me seems so obvious of a scenario where like if you keep pushing this, she's gonna snap back in one way or another, whether it's like giving herself a terrible at-home bowl cut or like, you know, the second she can, like shaving her head, like something crazy. I don't know.
Sydney L writes, ew, you're gross, YTA. Who cares how attractive your preteen daughter looks? She's a fucking child. Well, she's not a preteen, right? She's 13.
That is preteen. Or is that teenager?
I'll give you a clue. 13.
Okay, you're right. But like, I don't think of 13-year-olds as teenagers because they're like adolescent.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we're splitting hairs here. I think, look, I don't like this comment. I don't think this is my objection. My objection is not that obviously her looks are a factor. Looks are a factor, people. They are, of course. There's a time and there's a place for presentation, for looking a certain way. There's a benefit. Mother is, in fact, I think, right about one aspect of this, which is that this is probably the best her hair can possibly look. But what her problem is not that she's wrong on that particular point, is that she's failing to incorporate any of the other points, which is mainly the biggest one is that her daughter is an independent person and she doesn't want to do it. And honestly, I think that is enough for a 13-year-old. I think that is enough.
I mean, that should be the bigger factor is what your kid actually wants and how they want to express themselves, regardless of like how conventionally attractive or not it makes them look.
Well, I think
so. I do think it's weird that like, yeah, I think it's a bit much that the mom is overly preoccupied with that because like, I don't know, this girl's not like a beauty pageant queen. Like this is not like she can just exist in the world the way that she wants and
she can. Well, and
like, yeah, being like the shit that I wore when I was 13 was like heinous. And my mom wasn't out here being like, oh, well, you should actually be doing your makeup like this or styling your hair like this. Like, no, you just gotta let your kid figure it out and look awkward and terrible for many years until they're in college. In my case,
I think it's letting. I think there's a difference between letting and there's a difference between guiding and forcing. Okay, I don't like how Sydney L writes, "Who cares how attractive your preteen daughter looks?" Well, I can name someone. The daughter. I think it is a factor.
Maybe.
I think it's a factor that needs to be brought up. I thought Mother was taking a responsible route by saying like, hey, you know, we did do this before. And like, just so you know, some people might not like the way it looks. You're not going to get as many compliments and just kind of going through the outcomes and the effects of this just so she knows like you're an adult. You have a greater sense of foresight.
But it seems like she does know because those factors that you're bringing up are like the exact factors that the daughter is like fed up with.
I'm just saying I don't like how Sydney L is trying to act like attractiveness doesn't matter at all. Of course it matters to the daughter. It is a factor. I think it's worthy of discussion. In this case, she's not going for a radical cut, but like if she was going for very short hair or blue hair, I think it is a valid route for the parent to say, well, if you have blue hair, it's going to be a lot harder for you to get the internship you want or whatever. I don't know what 13-year-olds
She's
do.
13.
Whatever. It's going to be harder for you to.
That's the thing. In 8th grade, my parents would not be like, well, I just don't feel like they would be like, well, boys aren't going to like it. It's like, that's not an argument. And no.
Why? But it is a factor, isn't it? Do you think that's inappropriate to say? Like, have you thought about how boys, maybe you don't have to be so just like, well, have you?
Yeah, like, exactly.
Have you thought about how the boys will think about your hair? Do you care? That's it.
But it's kind of like, it's like you've probably thought about it.
I'm just saying, I don't think there's anything wrong with guidance and advisement. I don't think there's anything wrong with being a parent and saying, like, if I were you, I would do X. But you're free to do whatever you want. That's just my opinion. You should do whatever you want. That's what you should.
I mean, yeah, but that's not happening here. And she was responding to, like, what is happening here.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I didn't like how she said, who cares how attractive she is? Well, she cares. It is a factor. Of course she cares. It's middle school. It's a nightmare.
But, like, maybe her view of what's attractive is not the same as
I know, Sarah, but I'm saying it is a factor.
Attractive. So to her, it is attractive. So I do kind of think that her comment is valid.
She cares how attractive it is. That's all I'm saying. It's a factor to consider.
The mom cares.
No, the girl cares too. The girl cares how attractive.
Based on?
What?
Based on? What?
The girl cares how attractive she looks. Of course she does.
Yeah, but like.
That's it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not justifying the mom. I'm just saying there is a place for that conversation. It is a factor. People like to round to zero. We don't have to round to zero. I'm saying it's not the whole part of the picture, but it is part of the picture as a parent to say, yeah, like, look, if you buzz your hair, like, I think kids are going to make fun of you. I don't think the boys will like you as much. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you that I think that's what's going to happen. You do whatever you want. I'm just telling you that I think that might happen. And if you're comfortable with it, you should do it. That's it.
Okay.
Feed the Prug writes, YTA, if you could stop reducing your daughter to her looks, that'd be great. See, that's what I'm on board for, because that is what she's doing. She's making this all about the looks. It's not even about the looks. It's the presentation and reflection for the mother. That's what the mother wants. It's her little doll that she shows off.
Yeah, she just wants like a pet. What am I thinking of? A prize?
Yeah, prize dog.
Pony?
Prize pony,
Something
sure.
like that.
Anyway, I think we agree on this. AITA for telling my daughter she'd thank me later about her hair. Well, it's not really the question here.
That's not what you did.
Yeah, AITA
ma'am.
for forcing my daughter to get the haircut that I thought made her look best and completely ignoring her desires, needs.
Wait, we should start doing that. We should start rewriting the titles based on what actually happened.
Real verdict or real title. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we agree wholeheartedly on this. YTA,
yeah.
OP is a verdict, and of course the daughter is not.
For sure.
Guys, please rate, review, subscribe. We got a Patreon, call-in show. You love it. Series of keywords, rate, review, iTunes, podcast. Thank you. We love you. AITA for asking my husband.
Speed recommendation.
AITA for asking my husband not to bring his friend around by use spouse throwaway 8475. My 43F husband, 45M, has a friend, Todd, 39M. And he has been hanging out with since we moved to our new state for work 5 years ago. When we first moved here, I struggled to find a job. Todd would make passive-aggressive comments about how nice it must be to have someone supporting me. When I told my husband about it, he told me that Todd was joking and didn't mean it. I told him that it offended me and that I didn't find it funny, and he told me I was taking it out of context. Since then, Todd has made more offensive comments. Last month, when I brought my husband a coffee and some food to his work, he was working overtime, was tired and hungry. Todd saw me in the parking lot and remarked about how nice it must be to have a wife that brings coffee and food on command. I told him I was not a dog and don't talk to me like that. The next day, when he saw my husband, he told him about the conversation we had in the parking lot and said that I was rude to him for no reason. So I told my husband what he said, and I told him that I will not be spoken to like that. My husband told me that I need to relax and that he didn't mean to be rude. Last week was the last straw. I replaced my phone after 7 years of having it. I'd been saving money for 6 months to pay straight cash for the new phone. Unbeknownst to me, my husband had ordered it for me as a surprise. I was so excited and happy to finally have a phone that worked. The night that I got it, we went out to dinner and ran into Todd while we were waiting for a table. Apparently, he knew
course.
that my husband was getting me a new phone and even remarked how spoiled I was and how hard my husband works for me to just spend his money.
Oh, God.
I saw red. I told him that, first of all, I didn't spend his money. He did. That I have a job and I'm more than capable of buying my own phone, and that he was a petty, jealous asshole who was angry because he can't find a girlfriend who will put up with his crap. So he takes it out on me because I'm the only woman who will speak to him. Wow. Got him. We ended up just going home, and my husband gave me the silent treatment the whole ride. As soon as we walked in the door, he told me that I embarrassed him. I told him that I was embarrassed when his friend told me that I was some kind of money-grubbing leech, and he just stood there and allowed it to happen. I told him I don't want Todd around anymore, that he wasn't welcome in the house. My husband thinks that I'm overreacting, and that's just how Todd is. AITA,
Bro,
for asking my husband not to bring Todd around anymore.
what the fuck? Like, oh my God. Ah. It's so annoying because I feel like the husband initially stood up for the wife and then was actually like, nah, I'm going to side with my dirtbag friend instead.
Yeah, I don't understand how husbands...
Like, yeah, that's how he is, but how he is a dirtbag. Like, that's not a good excuse.
You know, to use your apparently your favorite phrase, Todd's bombing. Why isn't he aware of the fact that he's simply bombing?
He's just, oof. What's worse than bombing? Because I feel like he's not even trying to do well.
Yeah, that's true. He's this is unchecked hostility. You know, it's just like, is this even about what's happening at all? You're not being harmed. You're not being bothered. Like, you're just kind of shitting on this woman for no reason. And then it's not even vaguely valid. So it's just completely like aimless negativity and meanness.
Oh, yeah. I mean, actually, the one comment that I was like, this doesn't really rub me the wrong way if you took it in a vacuum, was like, oh, it must be nice to have a wife who brings you coffee and food. But like, which is like, yeah, I guess it would be nice. But in context with everything else, it's like, okay, he clearly meant it as a dig.
Yeah, well, no, I think I think the part that OP found offensive was on command, because that's why she felt like a dog.
Oh, yes. Good point. Good point.
Jennia J writes, NTA, your husband should be backing you a hundo P on this. No man should think it's okay to speak to his friend's wife in such a way, but go you for defending yourself. I mean, there's just no way to speak to a person.
Anyone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think the relationships are that important. It's just like, why are you being disrespectful? And, you know, I think that her insults kind of cut to the core here, because there is something very jealous about this. He sees the dynamic as lecherous, as leechy, and it's like,
yes,
that just betrays a very fundamental misunderstanding of how relationships work. You know, they're mutually beneficial, and it might be that one person earns the money and one person handles the housework or whatever, but it's still it's an arrangement, and it's a deal that you settle on, and nobody's a leech, you know, unless it's a very toxic relationship.
Yeah. I mean, it also just like complete lack of respect.
Right, toward her.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I think she hit it on the nail on the head, is that he is angry at women because he's probably a loser. I mean,
yep. I mean, it's like, if that's the way you talk to women, then I'm not exactly shocked that you cannot find a girlfriend.
I will ITA myself. I was with friends. One of them is a woman, and I was on Hinge, and this girl wrote that her favorite thing to do was drink iced coffee in the winter. And she had a very basic profile, and they dared me to message her, why are you so basic?
No, that's so mean.
That's mean, huh?
Did you do it?
I did.
What the fuck? What'd she say?
She replied, and she was like, what's basic about me? And then I replied, at their goading, that's the most basic answer possible. That she
is just what's basic.
She just said, what's so basic about me? And then I just replied, that is such a basic answer.
Oh my God. And damn, you were just addicted to this girl for no reason.
And she didn't unmatch me, so maybe I'll chase her, but no.
Apologize?
You want me to apologize?
You mean? Yes.
All right, I'll apologize.
You were just like, honestly, I feel like if there's no self-awareness in someone's profile, it means that, okay, they're not really self-aware. Like, drinking iced coffee is not a personality trait. Fine. But if you're going to put that out there and that's your best foot forward, like, you don't need someone being a dick to you for no reason.
You're right. You're right. My friends made me do it.
Bro, your friends are kind of dicks, but like, whatever.
I know, you're right. These aren't even my stand-up friends. So I don't know. I don't know what was.
What is your excuse?
I don't know what was.
Or what is their excuse? I guess.
I don't know what was in the water that night. Jamie R writes, your husband has been the asshole since the first. Relax, it's a joke. Obs, Todd is an asshole too. A couple of words from him to Todd, and it could have been the end of it. NTA, that's true. Husband really just not stepping in at all.
Yeah.
Ed D, NTA, no one talks to my wife like that. And if it was a so-called friend that did it, that friend and I'd be having some words with my fist doing the talking. Okay, we don't need to.
Ed. Okay.
Okay, Ed. But
That's hilarious.
yeah, you know, obviously the husband should have said like, hey man, don't talk to her like that. Like just simple stuff. Or like,
Yeah, but like clearly the husband was not on board with this line of like respect from the beginning. So
Right.
I'm not exactly shocked.
right. Tarina F, everyone sucks here. You should have had a rational sit down with Todd as not to put your husband in an awkward spot. I'm angry, Tarina. This is crazy. And try to work things out and come to a common understanding for the sake of the loved one you both share. Your husband should be defending you in public and having the conversation for correcting you at home. Todd should have enough respect for your husband to respect you. Everyone here has a little adulting to do. Okay.
He should have enough respect to respect you, huh?
Yeah.
Wait,
Todd
that's fucked
should
up.
have enough
Todd should
respect for your
respect the husband to respect you.
I don't know what that means.
No. Todd should respect you. That's
Yeah.
it. Doesn't need to be this like weird proxy where you only show the wife like reverence because of her husband. Boo.
So weird. I mean, look, I don't actually dislike this comment. I don't agree with the verdict of VSH. I think that's madness. But I do agree that maybe given the fact that... No, I can't. I was going to say maybe she should
It's like I can't come for her.
No, I
but,
can't come
like,
for her.
Also, she can't be surprised that her husband reacted this way either because he kind of showed her a few times
Yeah.
that he was going to side with Todd over her. Not that it like makes it okay at all,
Right.
but also this is a semi-predictable outcome just based on what's been laid out for us here.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Top Reddit comment, I think, cuts to the core. I Hercules writes, NTA, tell your husband he can marry Todd if Todd's feelings are more important than yours.
Boom. There it is.
I don't think this is an ESH. I think it is...
No, it's like EESH. Everyone else sucks
Yeah,
here.
no, I think this is an NTA, right? AITA for asking my husband not to bring his friend around, not the asshole husband and friend are. Straightforward.
Yes.
Didn't need to be complicated. Yeah, lay off this lady, Todd. What's your problem? But you know...
Come on, Todd.
You know what you shouldn't lay off, Todd? AITA podcast. Please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes. Sign up for the Patreon. We got call-in shows. Give us a call, Todd. We'll tell you how you can meet ladies. Not that I know.
Oh, God. Don't take advice from Danny. I mean, actually, you have good success. That's like the whole crazy part.
What do you good success at what?
You actually do have a lot of success at meeting people.
Because I'm on the apps?
I mean, you've met a lot of people. You've been in more relationships in the past 2 months than I've been in the last 5 years.
I don't think so, Sarah. You're a little
It's
more
objectively
discreet. You're a
true.
little more discreet about me than me. I think you're in some relationships. I'm not gonna out you here, but
Like, I have not had someone I've called my boyfriend in the last 5 years.
yeah. Well, you know, I probably shouldn't have called her my girlfriend. That was probably a mistake and probably why my heart was split in half. But now it's back together, kind of.
Oh, what a weird vibe of the show today. This is fun.
No, I am a lot better. I am. I mean,
I'm glad.
See, here's the thing, though. I get afraid because on Saturday, I was doing a lot better. And I was like, I'm good. Oh, my God. Like, I'm good. Like, life is good again. I laughed, and I was like, life is good. But then Sunday and Monday were really bad. And so now, and then Tuesday kind of turned around, and then today really turned around. But now I'm very afraid. I never know what's going to happen on Thursday. It might take another turn. So I'm just,
You never know. I like that you're anxious about your own potential feelings.
they come in waves, these mother effers. So anyways,
It be like that.
it do. AITA for not wanting specific dances for anyone in our wedding reception. My fiance and I cannot come to an agreement. My father died when I was 11, and growing up, my mother and I weren't close. My stepfather clearly favored my little sister over myself, and I was the most difficult thing, and it was the most difficult thing to get along. What? Because I was, oh, sorry. Okay. I'm going to take this from the top. AITA for not wanting specific dances for anyone in our wedding reception. My fiance and I cannot come to an agreement with this. My father died when I was 11, and growing up, my mother and I were not close. My stepfather clearly favored my little sis over me, and I was the most difficult to get along with. I was angry and extremely depressed when I lost my dad. Not gonna lie, I was a real turd, but my sister was young enough to not really remember my dad, whereas I didn't like being around my stepdad, as to me, he was trying to replace my dad. So when my father died, my sister wasn't hardly influenced. I was, though. I was the black sheep in a way and never got along with anyone. Not my sister, my mom, who was so quick to do all my stepdad wanted, my stepdad himself, because I challenged him and fought against him, and all the family on his side because I wasn't so easily brainwashed. Anyway, when my dad died, my mom didn't let me really mourn him. I wasn't allowed to talk about it or cry about it unless I was in my counseling sessions once a week. That's kind of hitting me in the tears. That's
yeah, that's bad.
That's horrible, OP. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Yeah, me too.
And I was cut off from my entire father's side of the family because my mom said that because the connection I had between myself and them was my dad, and my dad was gone now, I had no connection with them. I was alone.
This is
like the sad OP.
So fucked up.
I'm like angry. I'm angry and I'm sad. Well, now that I'm engaged in trying to sort a wedding, my fiance is convinced his mom is going to fight for a mother-son dance, and I told him I would rather not have an announcement and clearing on the dance floor for that. I'm already walking by myself down the aisle, and I don't really want an announcement where only the groom and groom's mother get a dance, and it's not something I want to advertise or be rubbed in my face either. I was close to my dad, even losing him at a young age, and it would make me feel really sad on our day. It's not that I'm keeping them from dancing together at all. I just don't want to have it announced and the floor cleared out for it. In other words, I don't want it to be obviously the mother-son dance. My fiance is calling me selfish for wanting to take that away from his mom, and that if it were the other way around, he wouldn't hold me back. But honestly, if it were the other way around, I wouldn't have that dance out of respect for my SO's loss. Am I the asshole?
Gotta be honest. I've read the comments. I understand the general consensus of the comments, but I'm finding it hard to not find OP's request reasonable.
You're finding it hard to find it reasonable or unreasonable?
To find it unreasonable.
I think that, look, it is a toughie. I think OP's in a real bind here. First of all,
because I'm just when you put it that way, it's that is so rough.
Right.
All this wedding stuff she can't really do.
Right.
And if it's gonna make her fucking cry on her wedding.
Yeah.
To me, this is a reasonable request.
But but here's the thing. There's other people. Other people.
I mean, the mom.
Mom. Tough for her. But she's still getting the dance. It's just not being announced. I don't know. I guess what I look at it as just the concession as strictly a lack of announcement. That actually does make me feel like OP has a pretty valid request. She just doesn't want it to be announced.
Yeah.
That seems pretty fair to me. Nikki C writes...
Because also, honestly, when you do these dances, well, I'm trying to think. It's everybody clears the dance floor. You play the slow song. And then you move on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think they could still, pick a designated song and have their dance.
Right.
And it doesn't need to be a performance for everyone else, because really it should be about, you having your dance with the son.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a fair agreement. Nikki C writes, I want to say a soft YTA because I feel for you. I lost my dad when I was 19, but I have an excellent relationship with my stepdad. Really, though, your husband's feelings count too. He wants this, and it's unfair to deny him because of your own experiences. Yeah, I do feel like this can...
I see that side as well.
Well, why can't it be negotiated without just the calling it of that? I feel like it's such a small thing to give away. Renika M says, no assholes here. Not all traditions have to be followed, and maybe you two can come up with something that honors both families without putting the spotlight on just him and his mom. Okay, I guess maybe to play another thing here, couldn't she go somewhere while this happens? I don't know.
I mean, that's true. She could eat during that time.
Yeah.
I think this is a good compromise. The bride never gets to eat. She's always too busy running around.
Leave the room or something. There's got to be something she could do. Do some coke or something. I don't know what people do at weddings, but people who do drugs and drink. Well, they drink. That's right. That's I have coke on my mind because it's legal to do coke now. Or it's not legal. It's decriminalized to do coke in Oregon.
Can't wait.
Ashley J. YTA, I lost both of my parents. Sorry to hear that, Ashley. I would let my partner have his dance with his mom. It's not just your day. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I am starting to shift toward find a way to shift your attention rather than a way to shift this desire. This is just how it's kind of done.
Yeah.
Channy H. I think after a lifetime of having loved ones invalidate your feelings, you're overcompensating. No assholes here, but I think you really should get some good therapy. Well, sure.
Oh my God, yeah. OP needs to cry for 3 days straight or something.
Yeah.
To like let out all that pent up crying. That gets me. I'm like, what the hell is that? That's so fucked up.
There's a lot of, that's a lot of trauma. That's really, really bad that the mom did this. But yeah, I think, oh wait, so actually the question though is not wanting specific dances for anyone. So she's just saying, let's lose all the specific dances. It's just going to sort of happen.
Well, because what other, like the father-daughter dance is by default lost. So what else is there really?
Is there a mother?
Well, yeah. So I'm saying like they're kind of. It's not like all special. Like there's two.
Oh, what are the two? I get confused.
I mean, it's like the mother-son dance with the groom, and then the father-daughter dance with the bride. So by default, she can't have the father-daughter dance. So she, like conversely, does not want the other one.
How heteronormative.
Sure.
I just threw that in there to be spicy, guys. I guess where I land here is that I feel like it's a big deal to the mother. It's a big deal to her spouse. I feel like find a way to leave. Find a way to shift your attention. There's got to be a way. If this is going to cause you so much pain, then your partner should be open to it. Like do the single bride photos. Go eat the food. There's got to be something you can do. Do shots with Becky, your best friend. Like there's got to be something that can happen to get away from this and compromise. I think there's a compromise here. I think we're in a tough bind because it's a classic situation. I'm gonna do a little remix on the title. We're gonna say, would I be the asshole for not allowing specific dances for anyone in our wedding reception?
Boo.
That's how I'm gonna kind of reconfigure this. And I would say you would be the asshole. I think you need to negotiate and compromise on this, and I think there is a way.
But don't you think that this is a compromise?
What?
What she's saying? She's like, yeah, you can have your dance. It just doesn't need to be a whole
It
production.
doesn't need to be announced.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of, but I'm like, why can't you just go to a different room? What's so bad about that?
That's like not. Is that a? I don't know if that's like a as much of a compromise as one person being like, all right, I'll self-sacrifice, which is fine because that's like a part of relationships. But
how is it a sacrifice? It's just going somewhere else. You could.
She's leaving the room during like
other
her own
rooms
wedding.
In the venue, there's a backyard, and you could be with your friends still and have fun. But the mom wants her big dance.
I guess. I mean, to me, that's just like, all right, I'm. Like, that's not really meeting in the middle. It's fine.
How is that
but
not?
It's just
I feel like that is meeting in the middle because part of it is
because you're just like removing yourself from the situation.
Yes, but it's well, they would expect you to be watching the mother-daughter dance or whatever, the mother-son dance. They would expect you to be watching.
I don't know if is that like an explicit part of it?
Yes, of course it is. You spend the whole night together. You just married that person.
I guess.
Whew, I just got anxiety thinking about marriage. That's a good sign, though. That's progress. Okay, so, I guess you're right. I don't know. I guess I feel a little bit mixed up on this because I feel so bad for OP.
I don't think that either of them is wrong, to be honest. Like, I feel like when it's put that way, I'm like, I can't really come for the OP for, like, not wanting this thrown in her face.
Right.
Because, again, it's like, all right, now you got to leave the room now. Like, what do you think she's going to do when she's leaving the room? She's, like, probably going to still feel upset.
Right.
And then on the other hand, I can't begrudge the fiance and his mom for wanting that moment. Right. Because obviously this is a situation that's not in their control at all.
Right.
So I don't know. I can't fault anybody here in this scenario personally. So I would go no assholes here.
All right, I'll meet you there. AITA for not wanting specific dances for anyone at the wedding reception. No assholes here. Guys, please rate, review, subscribe. Thanks so much for listening. We'd love to have you. Join us on Patreon if you want to do call-in show, extra episodes every single week. We love you, and we will see you next Monday morning.
Bye.